What's up, everybody? It's Ian here with Miller Garage, and today we're going to be revealing and talking about one of our new projects that we have in the garage. But before we get into that, first of all, I want to thank you for watching our videos, and if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do that. I'm setting a goal that I want to hit 1,000 subscriptions by August 1st. We have a new baby coming in August, and so I want to just be able to hit that landmark before the new baby arrives. That's just a personal goal of mine. So would love it if you subscribe if you haven't already. We got lots of awesome stuff coming. So on to our new project. This is a 1973 Land Rover Series 3, and this one it's quite literally a barn find. It actually was in a barn for about 7 years, and I had a buddy at work who I was talking to about, at some point in life wanting to get a Defender 110, one of the, the long wagon ones, and do a LS swap or something like that in it, and have something that was big enough for, my whole family to fit in. As we continue to grow, it's gonna, hopefully that would still work. I think I could make it work. But we were talking about Defenders and Land Rovers and stuff, and he remembered that he had a friend from South Africa who had this sitting in his barn, and he had been sitting there for like I said, about 7 years, I think, and he wasn't doing anything with it. It was just basically wasting away. And so he's like, well, you need to, maybe he'll sell it. He was debating if he was going to keep it and use it as a farm truck. So I was like, okay, well, I'd be curious to look at it. I'm not really, I wasn't specifically looking to get another project, but sometimes those things just kind of come across your path. So I was like, oh, well, whatever, I'll look at it. I mean, probably isn't going to happen, but let's take a look. So I got in contact with the guy, and we started talking a little bit, and he gave me a price, and I was like, okay, well, that's actually, pretty good for what this is. Let's see, how it looks. Initially, whenever I first talked to him, my buddy was thinking it was an actual Defender, but after I got some pictures, that's when I realized, okay, it's a Series, which I'm not going to say one's better or worse than the other. I think the Defenders maybe go for a little bit more here in the U.S. They're a little bit more desirable, but whenever you fully restore these, they can be pretty valuable as well. So I went over, I took a look at it, and it's definitely rough. Whenever something's been sitting for so long and it's just covered in dust and got stuff all over it, you're always a little apprehensive whenever you're looking at something like this. Got a good look at it, checked everything out, and for the price, I was like, okay, this could potentially be a good deal. And so I reached out to some people that I know that know classic cars really well and stuff, and one guy who I talked to even said, if you don't buy it, I will. So that was kind of a good indication that it's a good deal whenever somebody's that eager to potentially buy it without even really seeing it themselves. Odds are it's probably a good deal. So I ended up talking with him, negotiating. We got it all figured out and finalized, and so I went ahead and got it. And this one is one that he had imported from the UK, so it is right-hand drive, which is pretty cool. I'm at the beginning, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to potentially do a left-hand conversion or if I'm going to keep it original and do more of like a concourse restoration, but we'll get more into all that in the next video. But I just think it's pretty cool that it's right-hand drive. Now, when we went to go pick it up, it hadn't been running for a while, so we weren't going to attempt to get it up and running and try to drive it, so I just brought a trailer. And that whole experience was pretty comical. You know, obviously something that's been sitting. The brakes, were pretty well seized. It rolled a little bit, but not well, and so we had to actually chain it and tow it with his truck to get it up onto the trailer. I got a little bit of footage. You know, some people don't always love whenever you come over and start filming and stuff at their house. You know, some people are more private than others, which is totally cool. So we were able to get a little bit of footage of the actual getting it out of the barn and putting it up on the trailer and some photos and stuff. But we loaded it up on the trailer and then drove it to a car wash, tried to spray some of the dirt off, get it, you know, a little bit cleaner for bringing into the garage. And then we got it back here, and the attempt to unload it was infinitely more challenging than getting it loaded on. Again, with it being seized up, we had to try to, you know, lift the trailer up to where we could attempt to push it off, and it was obviously not wanting to go anywhere. We managed to get several of us and actually get it pushed off and pushed into the garage, and then we had to scoot it over, and we ended up, for the last few feet, we were just pushing down on the rear bumper, and we got it to bounce back into place. So, you know, these Land Rovers are just they're really cool vehicles. They have that iconic, unique look. It's something that's relatively easy to work on. They're really pretty simple compared to some other vehicles. Very, you know, just boxy, so you don't have to worry about real intricate panels if you have to, you know, either fabricate new ones or do any repairs. It definitely has some body damage. It's stuff that's going to need to be repaired. The frame is, you know, just from looking at it underneath, it doesn't look great. Possibly going to need to replace that. We'll do a full evaluation in the part 2 of this, where I'm going to look over everything on camera and just kind of talk about the condition of everything, and then what my plans are moving forward with it. So that's going to be in part 2, which is going to come up here in a little bit. But I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be a real fun project. It's something that, you know, you don't see a ton of them in the States. There's a lot more over in UK and all of that, and in Europe, but you just don't see them that much in the States. I've seen a few Defenders here, but to be honest, I've actually never seen a Series Land Rover stateside at all. I'm sure that there's definitely some out there, but I've never seen one, so I'm excited to have it. I think it's going to be a fun project. We're going to start working on it. Potentially some overlap with the Airstream. I really need to get the Airstream a lot further along, partially to clear up some space in the garage, because I got Airstream parts just everywhere. So we're going to work on getting that done, and then we're going to start tearing this apart. I'm going to go at it, you know, relatively slow. Want my boys to actually, you know, somewhat be a part of the process, to start teaching them about working on cars and all of that. So it's going to be really fun. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said at the beginning, I would love it if you would subscribe to our channel. We got lots more awesome content coming to you. Also, feel free to like or comment, and then we have our social channels linked below. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you next week.